Welcome back, everybody. Woodsman, you rebel, you loner, you. What's the plan here, man? So there's this building. We've got moonlight and I guess not like gas lamps, but like essentially just like big like oil lamp light, like pools of light. You're in the real dingy part of town. There's a lot of like rundown shops. Some of the like bars are starting kind of like to open, but not like the kind of bar you would just like go to and hang out at, but like the kind of bar that like locals go to because it's the closest bar to their house.
Mhm.
And so you've left Agnes and Basil behind, and where are you headed? What are you gonna do? What's your plan?
I think I I'm inclined to try to scale to some height
Okay.
rather than try to enter on the first floor.
Okay.
So
So let's talk about. So this game gives us the advantage of choosing how granular we want to be about this stuff. So like, um, and sneaking into a place is like a perfectly. So we could say you want to sneak in, get a look around, and sneak out, and we could just call that all one stealth roll. Or we could
mhm.
say you want to climb up somewhere, get in to a high level floor. What do you want to do while you're inside? Let's talk about that. Because it'll determine whether we're going to do a series of link tests that rely on each other or just like kind of one test to get in and get out.
I mean, I guess the overall goal is to identify those people within the building.
Okay.
So single them out. And yeah, that would be the primary goal, to find them without being seen.
Okay. So get in. What do you want to like observe them for any period of time, or you just want to figure out like what's the goal of
Yeah.
finding them? Like just figure out.
Yeah, I mean, I know, like, I don't understand why, but I know, like, Agnes is kind of like, you know, got this really strong suspicion, and I do trust that on some level. So I want to go observe them and figure out if they're up to something or not.
Gotcha. See what they're up to. So get in, see what they're up to, and then get out. Okay. Well, let's see something here about making link tests. Long-term or complex operation requiring many skills or abilities to overcome. Sure. Okay. So let's say it's going to require like a test to get to a good advantage point. Like each of these tests will add to the next. So I think maybe there'll be three. There'll be how's your entrance and exit point? Like how safe is that? How stealthy are you, and how much do you learn? So there'll be a test for getting in, like you said, you want to climb up, which I guess is like athletics. Is that even a thing in this game? I always forget. Climbing and swimming are both. I think it might just be a fort test. I think a lot of that just falls under that stuff.
Or like power to climb or something.
Yeah, I think it's. I think it's. Let me find out. Climbing a cliff face. Yeah, it's a stat test. It's so you're going to be making a you're going to be making a oh no, climbing is a skill. Okay, so you don't have it, so it's just going to be an untrained test, whatever that's based on. So this is what I mean. Like sometimes there's skills where I'm like, oh yeah, definitely there's no swimming skill, but there's definitely a climbing skill because that's different, I guess. Okay, climbing's based on speed, so you're going to make a speed test. Against Ob 2. It would be Ob 1 normally because the walls around here are shit, so they're easy to climb.
Mhm.
So Ob 2 speed test. If you succeed, you're going to add 1 to your stealth test, your next test. And then the stealth test, if you succeed, it'll add 1 to your observation test because that's the real goal, right? Is like to
Mhm.
find out what you can. And it's not a question of like, I don't think whether you are stealthy or not, like, I don't think you're going to get caught because it's not a defended place. It's just how good is that observation test at the end.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and make your climb test first. So this is a speed test against obstacle 2. Nice. Okay, so now make a stealthy test with a bonus die, and I'll oppose you with their guards. They're like lookouts.
Okay.
So I need to grab. There we go.
So I'm
So-
not going to use an obstacle or.
Yeah, no, you go first. You set the ob for me to see how stealthy you're being. And it works like every other skill. So if you have anything you want to fork or anything like that.
Okay. What was the sequence of
So
stuff?
climbing. So you've climbed up. You were saying, and you can describe this to me because it's your stealth mission. Your plan here was like climb up, get in to a secure place, scope the joint out without getting noticed, and then get out safely.
Okay.
But there's only
then
3 rolls.
I want to fork like lockpick and say like one of the windows. The easiest window to access was like locked with some.
Okay.
So, when I'm setting the obstacle for you, do I have any obstacle? Like
No, your
one?
ob is just 0. The actual ob for advancement will be whatever I roll.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Oh shit! I didn't. Wait, did I fork? No.
You got a 1 modifier, what's your stealthy 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you forked in.
Okay.
You should have 1 more die though, so just roll a d6 because you have the extra die from your speed test.
Mhm.
Nice. Okay.
Nice.
Do you want to spend a fate point on that stealthy? It's gonna make it harder for me the more successes you get.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
I got all this fate.
Yeah, use it. Basically, every time a 6 comes up, if it would make any mechanical difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just
I mean,
roll.
sometimes even if it won't, because you shade
That's right.
shift.
Shade shift because you need to spend
Yeah.
like 30 fate on one ability to shade shift it. So.
Jeez.
Okay. All right. So I'm rolling against ob 3 for my observation test. I'm gonna give them help because there's more than one of them in the building. Okay. And base obstacles 3. Ooh, okay. All right. So it's not that you get caught, but it's that trying to be stealthy is going to impede your next roll. So you have to spend a lot of time like ducking into apartments or like hiding in alcoves as people walk by. And it's making it harder for you to focus on like listening to like conversations and like finding where these guys are. So your last roll is going to be an observation roll against my stealthy roll. And you're at minus. Basically, I get 1 additional success.
Okay.
And these guys are pretty okay at stealthy. Okay, so your ob to beat is gonna be ob 2. So you're at ob 2.
Okay. Can I fork hunting in this situation?
Yeah, sure.
What about tracking?
Yeah, for the observation part, no, probably not, because you've already done the tracking. You've tracked them here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that. Wait, so this is observation. Can I fork stealthy, or are we done?
We're done with stealthy, yeah. The fact that you're stealthy is already accounted for.
All right. So you said ob 2?
Yes, ob 2, please. Nice. Good work. Okay. So, this takes a while, right? Like scoping out the joint, casing the building, and I'll give you all kinds of like details about that. You can ask me questions. But while that's happening, Agnes and Basil, what do you do once the woodsman's gone?
Agnes, just stay here, stay out of sight. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna get the rooster. I don't like this. I'll be back as soon as I can.
What? You're just gonna leave me here? I don't know what to do. Everyone's split up. Oh my god.
If you hear him yell, we can't both leave him here, but we also need the rooster here. If you want to go back and get the rooster, you can do it. I'll stay here. I'll be fine. That's better, actually. That's better. Because I'm a citizen. If things go bad, I'll be able to leverage my way out of it. It'll be fine. Go get the rooster. He's probably still with whoever that was fighting before. I wasn't paying very close attention, I admit.
Just take care of him, okay?
I will. It'll be fine. Princess. Her name was Princess.
Like, okay, princess.
Yeah, Princess. Something to hold on to.
Okay, so
I
you're
leave.
gonna leave? Okay.
Mhm.
And your plan here, Agnes, is to what? Go and find the rooster?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Probably go back to.
say you're gonna go back to where the fight was?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you take off. And then Basil, you just want to stay. What's your plan here?
My plan is to like stay hidden and look. I guess stay hidden, right? Like
Okay.
listen for shouting. You know.
Yeah. So are you trying to are you literally trying to find a place to hide, or are you just kind of I'm just gonna stand around and look?
No,
like I
yeah, I'm
belong
looking
here?
for an alley across the way. You know,
Okay.
film noir style, hiding in the alley, looking around the corner. Which I'm sure that's not going to work well, but that's what I'm looking for.
Perfect.
Mhm.
I love it. Okay, so you're gonna make a stealthy test.
Yeah, let's do it. That's definitely a skill I have. It's not. I don't
For
have
sure,
that
it's
skill.
a useful and important skill
Yeah.
that you would
Yep.
definitely have learned at some point.
Yep.
So for you, stealthy, you're gonna make an untrained stealthy. You can do your beginner's luck. It's based on speed.
Okay.
Um,
Speed's not great.
I'll give you an advantage die for the fact that it's pretty dark.
Nice.
And we will make a we'll see how stealthy you are, and I'll make an
Sounds
opposed.
good.
Make an opposed roll. So you
Base
go ahead.
ob not or one. I guess doesn't matter.
Yeah, because you're rolling opposed, so it'll be whatever successes I get are doubled.
Sounds good. All right, I'm gonna go for it.
Okay.
Well, that's a roll.
Okay. All right. And you don't have any sixes to spend, so
I don't.
you are
What's-
observed.
What's tie go to? Tie goes to attacker.
Tie
It's not a
goes.
tie.
What?
What's that?
It's not a tie. Adam's
Oh, you're
successes
right.
are doubled.
I'm
Oh,
right.
that's right.
I'm
I have two successes. Yeah.
correct.
Wow.
Thank you.
It's a tie on paper only.
Thank you.
If you knew what you're doing, this would be a tie. But you don't.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Well, mark that you
Yep.
are learning stealthy.
Marcus, you tried.
Yes, I did try. It's true. Oh Lord.
Mark that you've tried. There is a trying spot on the character sheet.
Yeah, I got it.
This whole game is a little trying, if you ask me.
Oh. Boom.
Nice.
Boom.
Okay. So while you're trying to be stealthy, meanwhile, upstairs, Woodsman, you make your way through the halls, and for the most part, this place is on the inside, what it appears to be. You spot several. Mostly, it's just rooms where there are too many people living in an enclosed space, and these people are obviously they're in a rough spot, right? There you see sick people, you see people who are obviously living in squalor, sleeping on a pile of rags. People from Freiburg, people who are obviously not from Freiburg. A good mix of folks, and most of the time, most of the people here just pay you no mind. But what draws your attention is that there's a stairway that leads up to a floor that the stairway appears guarded, and the people casually coming and going don't go up the stairs, right? There's a guy standing in the stairwell, kind of with his head down, and they don't go up there. So you, assuming because you've already made the roll, you managed to distract the guy. What do you do? How does the woodsman get this guy to leave his post?
I think I probably just I have a I probably okay, so I have a flask on me, and I take a piece of crumbling wall or something and hold it to a sconce on the wall,
Mhm.
get that on fire, then I throw my flask down a nearby hallway and
Right.
and just light it on fire. And
Sure.
it's a small fire, there's not much in there, but enough to draw attention, and it's a dangerous
Okay.
distraction, but
Sure.
I do it anyway.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you definitely draw his attention away and manage to sneak up into the sort of forbidden floor. This area looks like it's been cleared, and there's not nobody sleeping in the hallway, and it's obviously still a kind of a wreck. There's holes in the walls and stuff, but as you move down the hall, you hear a strange kind of rhythmic clunking sound that keeps repeating, And it's like heavy and like quite loud. And maybe you noticed it when you were down a floor, but it was insulated by the space between you. And now in the hallway, in one of the rooms, something is making this repeated like clunk sound. And as you get closer to it, you start to hear voices, like people are talking. And there's an unusual like sort of smell in the air. I don't think that you recognize it, but there's just like a funny kind of like smell in the air. And you get closer, and I think you can see in one of the rooms as you like peek around the corner. You'd followed these two people here, and they're in the room. They're talking to several other people, and you notice that here's some like the most sort of important things you notice. So not all of them, but I would say like about a third, maybe there's like a dozen people in the room. About a third of them are missing their left hand, all like recently. They're all dressed kind of normally, but there's a coat hook, like a coat hanger kind of like rack on one wall with like a bunch of like black cloaks hanging from it. And in the middle of the room, there's like a big terrifying machine. It's like a big like waffle iron kind of like, it's a huge press with like these metal like pieces in it. And there are two people. There's a woman, kind of like late middle age, a woman wearing an apron, and she's like covered in ink. Like her whole front is like black, and her hands are all black. She's got her hair all pinned up, and she's taking sheets of paper and putting them into this machine and like closing the machine on it, and then pulling them up again, and then taking them out. And now they're covered in ink. They have like writing on them, and she's putting them in a pile. And overseeing this is a kind of hawkish looking young man with like a receding hairline, dressed really nicely, though he has like inky kind of like fingers too, and he's like watching her and like making note of what's going on and kind of like checking, like he's looking at the papers as she puts them on the pile. But you sense that he's like deferring to her, like she's the one in control of this infernal contraption, and he's just kind of like nodding along as it's happening. Question?
Do those two have both their hands?
Yes. Yeah. Both of them do.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that you overhear enough conversation. Like they're not really talking. They seem set apart from these other ones. But the other ones are all talking about the fight and that they saw the rooster there. And while the couple are talking, there's somebody else who is like writing in like a logbook and asking questions. So they're like, well, what was he wearing? Scribble, 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 right? Like, and what did his haircut look like? Scribble, scribble, scribble. And like, they're like taking very detailed notes about him and having this conversation that seems very like intent on like weird details. Like, it's not about what he was doing really, but there are questions about like, did you see any of the others with him? You know, like, are you sure? Did you look? Like, how long were you there after you saw him? Did anyone else see anybody? Like, they're taking a lot of like care, making a record of kind of like what these people spotted at the fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like positionally, I am kind of where exactly in
You're
regard
like
to
around the corner of the door frame, like able to hear and kind of like peek in.
Okay. All right, so I think I sort of take a moment just to kind of like solidify everything I've seen and heard, and like so I can relate it later.
Yeah.
And I turn and sort of slowly creep away, but sort of then stop, and like it's like I'm kind of arguing with myself silently, and I'm facing away from that doorway, but I reach back and unsling my bow.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week. No. I basically like quietly knock an arrow with the intention of attempting to size up a shot through the doorway into the machine, the huge contraption, and I basically want to like analyze whether or not there's an opportunity, if I can sort of understand the rhythm of the machine making these loud noises, and during that time attempt to send an arrow through to sort of sabotage it, because I just feel like I should be sabotaging this, because
Just have this
I'm no
urge.
longer like doubtful that something is like foul
Right,
here.
all of Agnes's paranoia has led
Yeah.
you to this.
So I feel like I should do something before going back.
Okay, that's
But I want to like determine. I want to like, as a hunter, study the area, and if I don't have a good shot, then I'm not going to take it.
sure. Yeah. You want to get an idea of whether you could like damage the machine enough
Yeah.
or whatever. Okay.
Yeah. More importantly, I want to get an idea if I can take the shot without being seen.
Sure. Yeah.
Take it at the right moment through the right sort of trajectory.
Okay. Make a persuade, or not persuade. Make a perception check. See if you can persuade the machine to die. No, make a perception.
It's called
test.
hacking. Or yeah. All right. Perception. Can I fork things in this situation?
No, just a perception test as is.
Okay. Ob 1.
Yeah. The more success you get, the more you'll be able to figure
Oh,
out.
gotcha.
Okay, 3 successes. You're pretty sure that you could take the shot, and hard to say you're not a machinist. How much it would damage the thing. It would certainly be obnoxious to do it, but there's no way you could take the shot without like alerting everyone in the room, and then you imagine it would only go downhill from there.
Okay, so I think I like, spend a bunch of time trying to line that up, and just like in frustration, like pull the arrow back and, put it back in the quiver and just like creep away quickly, like feeling very disappointed.
Yeah, damn it. Okay, well, you got a good mental image of the book, the people in the room. You can ask me later, like, were any of these people in that room? If you encounter someone, that's a thing you can do. Okay, cool. And then you slip away, as we've already rolled, so we'll let your stealth ride. While all of that's occurring, Agnes, you want to get back to find Rooster. And Rooster, where do you end up, I guess, is the question.
Yeah, that's a good question. So, like, everyone else just, like, runs off to chase these guys while apparently not running into me.
No, you went out the alley. These ones went out the front.
They went
out the front door, essentially.
And so, yeah, like, I talked to Princess for a while, probably, and then help get her patched up. And then I go back in and like look around, and like everyone's gone. What would I do at this point? I don't know. I probably just like wander around.
Just wander around.
Yeah, I'm just like, I can't find them. I don't want to go talk to John because fuck that guy.
Yeah, for real.
And so yeah, I just like wander around that neighborhood.
Okay.
Like, getting up to no good. Like maybe I buy myself some food.
Okay.
Just, like on the street, talk to people that I meet. Whatever.
Let's just. I mean, fuck it. Let's just roll the die of fate. We'll just see if you run into each other.
Okay.
Because it's totally random now, right? Like it's not it's not a thing that we could like.
And it would be
decide.
like it's been hours since we left.
Yeah, like, we're just not just gonna wait around
Yeah.
the activated state until you see him again.
Yeah.
I'm not an NPC.
Yeah, for real. Rooster's just waiting there exactly where you left him, and he says exactly the same thing that he did the last time you talked to him.
The king lives in the castle in the middle of town.
Okay, so die of fate, random events. Let's say on a 1, you just randomly run into each other. That's how the die of fate works. All right.
Roll a 1. Roll a 1.
There it is. You do. Okay.
Oh my god.
So
It was fated.
yeah, it was. Yes, the gods wanted this to happen. So where are you, Rooster, when Agnes finds you? Like where exactly?
I'm like eating I've got some like street food, like we got like a shawarma or something, and I'm
Mm.
like walking across a street or like through an intersection, and she like runs up, and it just happens to be like,
I think
an
that
intersection on the way to where
you
she's
would have
going.
crossed already, except that the traffic all had to pause on both sides because like a carriage went through, and so when it clears, Agnes, you're on one side of the street and you see Rooster like across the alley, like the way, just like holding
Yeah.
this fucking shawarma.
Yeah, I've like got like some meat hanging out of my mouth, just like
I'm
one of these.
like huffing and puffing. I'm like, oh, thank God. And I just like run across the street,
I'm like,
waving
what's
my arms.
you want it that bad? Here you go. Like,
I'm so hungry.
yeah, I just like hand you the food, and I'm like, where have you been? What's going on?
I guess I take it because I'm not paying attention, so I'm just like,
Oh yeah,
okay. But
that like inadvertent social engineering where you're just like,
Yeah.
take this, and you're like, okay, wait,
Yeah.
what?
right, I'm like so flustered to like tell him something that I just like robotically take what he's handing me. But I'm like, okay, I don't know how to explain this, but we need your help. I need your help. The huntsman has gone to track
Huntsman.
the woods.
The woodsman is hunting. The hunt is his woodsman.
The huntsman is
And I just
wooding.
like snatch my food back out of your hands. I'm like, oh, well, of course, let's go. I'm bored over here. Another bite.
I like hug you around the waist and then like run off because I know you're gonna follow me.
Yeah, and I like stand there for a minute, like probably the first time I've been hugged ever. Like I'm just like, huh.
It's
And
like
I follow after you.
someone's happy to see me.
Yeah, like it's just weird for me, and then I just like follow along.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay.
How far away are we from
I
that
mean,
building?
you're not super far away because John's establishment is already in kind of like a skeezy part of town, but
Okay.
far enough. Like far enough for Basil to get in trouble while you're gone.
Ah,
Speaking
Perfect.
of
That's exactly
Yeah.
the right amount of distance.
exactly, right amount of time. So while everyone's abandoning you, Basil, and you're hiding in the shadows,
Yes.
I think you get to see the place sort of unfold a little, right? Like the people start to come out of the tenement building. Folks who have been working all day have like returned at the end of their very late shifts, and so the streets start to fill a little bit with folk. Maybe these like little like alleyway like bars and stuff start to open up, and various like callers come out to like ply their trade, and you notice like cloaked figures out to sell various like substances start to like emerge, and I think at one point someone comes up to you. It's a man, kind of like middle aged. He's wearing a I think it's hot, so he's wearing like a nice like a blouse with a vest, a brocade vest over it, but he's got the sleeves all rolled up, and he's got like prison tattoos on both arms, and he's got like a really like ratty kind of like yellowed like powdered wig on, and he kind of like looks like he's walking. He looks like he's gonna walk past you, like you're like, oh yeah, my stealth maneuver worked.
I'm so good at this.
Yeah, and then he stops and he turns and like sees you, and he like doffs his wig though to wear a hat. Like he just kind of like lifts a little, and he's like, "Evening, citizen." And like takes a couple of steps towards you.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm fine, citizen. What brings you to this neighborhood?
Meeting some friends.
He looks around and he's like, "You need better friends, citizen."
I punch him in the throat.
Okay, awesome. All right. So what is your intent here, Basil?
It's to get him to leave me alone, basically. That's it.
Okay.
Leave me alone by being dead.
All right. Yeah. No, your intention is to repel him with the punch.
Yes, it's to repel. It's not to,
Yeah,
kill him or
you're trying to kill
anything,
him.
but
Okay. All right.
Well,
Well,
if he
work on the-
dies, you won't lose any sleep, right?
I will let you roll your brawling or boxing or whatever.
It's brawling. I don't have it. It's
okay.
Still, I am learning it after I face planted that dude last episode.
Perfect.
Well, so far you're 1 for 1.
Yep.
So
this is gonna go great, right?
I mean,
can I get a bonus for surprise attack here for fighting dirty as hell?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because I'm surprised. So there's no way this NPC isn't
Yeah,
also surprised.
Basil was like losing it. By the way, I don't know if that's clear. Or
Nervously,
not.
like, fuck you.
Yep.
Awesome.
I imagine like Basil's like, but prior to punching him, he's probably doing the like. Do you know the like WoW rogue sort of like gyrating? Like they're just standing there. They're just kind of.
So now I'm just imagining Basil as a fighting game character. You're just doing your idling animation.
My idle animation. Yeah. Pop, and that's it. Yeah. It's gonna
He
go
walks
bad.
over and you just down toward, high punch, and he's out. Okay.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I have my doubts actually.
Right. He's gonna combo breaker you. And
Yeah.
that'll be it.
That's. What is the ob here?
Well, it's not. You're not fighting him exactly.
No. Yeah.
So let me look at a sheet here, and we'll see what like
Sure.
like what would be an appropriate response.
His will, because whether or not he wants to stick around and deal with this shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's his own natural inclination to like dodge out of the way, I guess. Like the question is like if you don't hit him, you don't get what you want, and then I get to react.
Right. He doesn't leave. If
Because it's your intent. If you hit him, he will leave. Right? It's not going to be like you hit him and then he fights back necessarily.
Right. Right.
Though if you fail, it might be you hit him and then he fites back.
It
Right?
could
It's not
also
just
be
that
that
you miss
he
it.
isn't going to leave. I don't want to say that he has to. Like, if you're telling me this guy just would not leave.
No. Yeah, I wouldn't allow you to. If your intent if your intent in the task didn't fit, I would have told you.
Right.
Punching this dude in the trachea is definitely a good way to get him to fuck off.
Unless I fail.
Unless you fail, in which case you'll miss, and then I have to decide how he reacts.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I'm gonna make I guess like speed test basically to see if he's like fast enough to get out of the way. Thankfully,
good.
he's not very fast.
Yeah.
So
That's good because I'm not very strong.
let's see how he does. I got no successes.
Zero success.
So
Alright.
you just need one. Shit.
Basil, you're no rooster.
I do all
I
right.
can get a success.
Yeah, you do all right. Okay, so you punch this dude. He's like, "Yeah, you need some better friends, citizen," and then you just give him one in the throat.
I got an extra one right here.
Yeah, he like grabs his throat and he's like, because you punch him in the windpipe and like falls down, and like his hand hits the ground and he's just like choking and like gasping. And do you just like watch him struggle and then wait for him to leave, or do you walk away? Or
I think I walk away,
Yeah.
but like the message is clear. I gotta find another alley. God, I gotta find a less well lit alley. These lamplighters do too good a job.
Okay, all right. So you managed to like that. I think that, and this is the thing, is it's not even just this guy. Like you've stopped this dude, but other people notice you punching this dude in the throat, and they're like, "Well, okay, we're gonna stay away from that dude."
That guy's not worth the trouble.
Yeah, listen. Here's the thing I also just realized, by the way, is I don't think I have my sword anymore. I think I gave it to someone back
Yes.
at Grouch. So
I
just
think you
keep
did.
that in mind.
You need a sword. Yeah.
I still don't have a sword, so that's a thing I just remembered. I want to be clear on.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's why you need me, because I have a sword.
It's also why I'm working on my brawling. You know,
That's right. Yeah.
I
Backup
turn my
skills.
hands into swords. Yeah.
Kung Fu Basil, the Kung
Yeah.
Fu politician. Okay, so you've created a space around yourself that no one will
Right.
bother you until Agnes and Rooster come back.
Yeah, because I'll bother you.
Definitely. So that happens. So you, I think, I guess you would notice them because you're trying to stay hidden. So you see Agnes and Rooster come back.
Caw. Caw, caw.
Oh.
And like to Agnes, I'm like, where the fuck is he?
Psst.
Do I? Are you
What's
no
soft?
longer being inconspicuous? Do
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
I mean, the
Thank
best part.
God you're back.
The best part is in this neighborhood, someone going, "Psst, hey, over here," from an alley. Like,
Totally normal.
Rooster's gonna punch. Rooster's gonna
Yellow
punch you in the
tops, got those
throat.
yellow tops.
And then like I probably am just like Basil, like super loud. I just like say Basil's name really loud. Like, why are you over there? Like, as I'm walking over, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing over there?
Get over here. Get here. Come. We're being quiet.
Okay, why? What? Has anything happened?
Don't worry about it. Woodman went inside. He hasn't come out yet. We don't need to actually be whispering. I just realized, but
Oh,
It's funnier that way. Though.
Well,
it's
why do
funny.
you need me?
Role playing.
If
I'm like
things
just
go
looking at
bad,
my fingers as I finish my shawarma.
if things go bad, there were these people that Agnes saw. They were watching you, and they said things about us, and they're in there. And the woodsman went in. He wouldn't let us go in with him.
What? He's killing them by himself?
I don't think he's. I don't think so.
No,
I
he
hadn't
doesn't like
thought
that
about
kind of- Look, well, what do you want? Do you want me to go in?
No, I just
Get him
thought
out of there?
if things go bad, it would have been nice to have you here. We were all just very worried.
I just wanted you here so I could admonish you for not being here.
And I'm like, Basil, if you want me around, don't run off without me.
You were fighting a wounded woman. I didn't want to interfere. You were making friends.
Look, don't go crying to me when you run off on your own and get yourself killed.
I can take care of myself. I did, in fact. Stamp my foot.
Yeah.
Basil's very proud.
I punched this dude.
I punched him.
So while you're all having your conversation, I think you complete your mission, Woodsman. Where do you see them? Like you see them in an alley, like
You're not very stealthy at
no,
all.
having this like stage whisper like conversation. And I think it immediately occurs to you that you did the right thing by leaving them behind to do this yourself. What do you do when you see them?
I move up to them, but I actually want to do it stealthily to prove the point.
Okay.
You want to just Batman back over to us?
Yeah, I think that's fine. You don't need to roll. They're very distracted.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm like, well, and that's probably the first they've noticed that I'm.
Right, and yeah, just like he disappeared, emerging from the misty darkness, it's the woodsman.
Oh, thank the gods you're back. What's in there?
All right, so here's the deal, Agnes.
Yeah.
Those are some pretty creepy folks. You said one of them didn't have a left hand.
yeah.
Yeah, turns out like virtually none of them have left hands. Yeah, it's very cult-like, and
Oh, it's them again, huh?
it's
What? What
Them
do you mean
again?
them again?
the
Those
roads.
creeps in black from the riot.
The-
I can't remember if this is a thing that Basil doesn't know about or if this is a thing that I've forgotten because it's been months.
Oh, you know.
Okay.
You should know.
Yeah, so the robes are black, and they're missing the hands, and it's clearly deliberate.
How many of them were there?
I don't know. How many were there?
There was like a dozen total.
Oh, that's too many.
Yeah, so I tell them that kind of information.
Oh, just that many? Let's get in there. We got this.
Rooster's all like, yeah, we'll just breach and clear, no problem. Tom Clancy's The Burning Wheel.
I mean, we'll kill a couple, but at least one or two will be left alive. We ask some questions, figure some stuff out.
Oh, what do they
I'm like,
have
well,
in
hold
there?
on, Rooster. Rooster, where did you come from?
I was getting food.
Okay, so I ignore that and I turn to back. And I'm like, here's the thing that I'm sure you're interested in. they've got some machine that seems to be, pressing papers. There's ink. There's it's producing some sort of material, and
Adam, were the Erasmus papers mass produced?
Yes,
Or
but
Yeah.
they were, but it's not a technology that existed prior. Like you just know, like you noticed they were like perfectly uniform in a way that was like
Right.
strange
Yeah.
to you. And Agnes knew for sure there was something weird going on. Like Agnes had the best, I think, idea of what
Right.
those. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just like, it's a wild contraption. I don't know how to explain it. It makes a tremendous thundering sound, and it's covered in ink, and they're making something with it, with the papers. And look, there's a woman who seems to be in charge, and I lost my flask.
I'm so sorry.
Well, don't worry. We'll get it back when we go in there and bang some heads together. And
If
I'm like
this
looking
is-
at everyone like, am I right? Am I right? What's going
If
on?
this is them, then we may need some more backup. There's only 4 of us, Rooster.
Yeah, the last time there were even more of them. They want to die. Happy to give it to them. Let's get in there.
There's a lot of them.
You have your sword, right?
The room is guarded as well.
I don't have my sword. We can get information about them. Maybe we scare them off and we learn something. But we also lose the element of surprise if we go in. They'll know that we'd followed them. They'll get word out. We won't be safe.
Didn't you say they were following us already? Basil,
They weren't doing a good job, clearly.
show me somewhere where I'm safe.
From what Agnes says, they were just interested in you, Rooster.
But they were talking about all of us before when we found them earlier. Maybe they just didn't see any of us because
Yeah.
we were with Booker.
They didn't see the rest of us.
If they're trying to come at us sneaky, we need to take them head on. I feel safest when I've got them at the point of my sword, not when they're coming up behind me in the street. When we get in there, when we know where they're at,
Yeah.
and we take it to them.
Yeah. Okay. Rooster's
Really?
coaching pep talk has got Basil fired up. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm looking at Basil like, really?
All right. Basil's desperate to control anything in his stupid life.
Yeah.
Like what? Wait.
He's right.
Are
He's
you
right.
guys sure? Are you
We get one
sure?
shot at this.
Sure.
We go in, we figure out what's going on there. This can't be their home base. Or if it is, then good. We found it and we put an end to this right now before they can ruin us.
Yeah,
I don't
you
want-
read all your stupid papers or whatever and figure, get to the bottom of it or something. I don't know. I just want to get these people that are following me and put them in the ground.
Adam, is there any like critical information that I'm forgetting here in relaying this?
Sounded like a pretty good relayance to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So is everyone on board with murder time? or
Operation Storm the Castle.
Do I need to convince y'all? Of
You
the-
need to convince me. That smells like a twap.
Is that kind of language really appropriate for?
You look over at Agnes and suddenly she's become Admiral Akbar.
All right. Well, I will happily persuade.
Yeah.
All right, you're gonna try and persuade Agnes that it's
I will help.
okay. All right.
Great. Let's see if I've got some forks.
So I guess the first question is Agnes is talking to you. I guess here's the thing. So Rooster can persuade you that it's a good idea, but there isn't Andrew can't go to the dice and be like, now you have to do what I want. So persuasion isn't mind control, right? Whether it succeeds or not, you can still decide what you want to do. But if Rooster succeeds, he will persuade you that in this moment this might be the best idea.
Right.
Yeah,
And then you can
actually,
decide how to act.
I think it's more appropriate for me to be using ugly truth here.
Mm.
Right.
Because I'm more being about like, yeah, this sucks, but like it's clear that this needs.
Yeah, I really just need you to sway me because I trust both of you, but I'm kind of like, wait, shouldn't we like research this or something? Like,
Okay. So I'm gonna roll my skill.
Trusting Rooster.
Basil's gonna help me.
I'm helping with oratory, and he just says like, Agnes, if we don't do something now, we don't know what sort of lies about us they'll spread or how they'll use our names. And truly, now, in the age of egalitarianism, all we have is our reputation. If that is spoiled, then we cannot help Freiburg.
I love it.
And my obstacle is
Agnes's will, which is 4.
4.
Yeah.
Can I just mention that, like, I don't think anyone really notices it, but the woodsman looks sort of really downtrodden when Basil says that. It's like, man,
all we have is our name, which
yours.
no one knows your name.
oh.
So I'm almost guaranteed to fail this because Agnes is a will for doubling to 8. Let's-
Oh,
Whoa.
You got 2
Double
seconds.
2 successes,
Six.
or 2 6s rather.
Yeah.
So
go for it. Why not?
I get another 2 successes, so I'm 6 out of 8. But now I have ugly truth.
So the ugly truth
Nice.
doesn't
Congrats.
quite hit home. So how do you react? So you were unconvinced, Agnes. What do you say or do?
Hey guys, we're clearly outnumbered. I don't think this is a safe idea. We need to regroup. We need to rally. We need to come up with a plan. We can't just run in there with our fists in the air. I mean, what were you thinking we were going to do once we got into that room?
No one
I'm gonna
knows.
kill every last one of them.
Okay,
I think that's pretty clear.
Agnes, you can make all the plans you want with people like this. They'll move on. They'll sneak around. They'll be gone before your plan can be put into action. We have an opportunity here. If you don't want to join us, that's fine. Rooster, let's go. And I start walking towards the building.
Yeah, and I've like drawn my sword, got my shield out, like I'm just ready to go.
All right.
I grab your arm. Like you're going to your death. You
We're all
cannot
walking.
do this.
We're all walking to our deaths. The least we can do is find one worth dying.
Damn it, Basil! I was gonna say some cool shit about death.
What do you think is going to happen once you're gone? If this doesn't work, they're just going to continue on.
Sounds like she's trying to convince.
Yeah,
Basil.
totally. So now, yeah, do you wanna try to persuade Basil?
Yeah.
Okay. I like all the cross persuading.
Mhm.
Like, don't do it. Shut up. It's dangerous.
You shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want my flask back.
Everyone's arguing. Yeah, Woodsman's like, I'm thirsty. Okay. All right. So, similar deal. You're using your persuasion skill of choice, which I think in this case
Yeah.
is
Still don't have persuade,
yeah, is
so
persuasion. So
My will is 5.
your will is 5. Jesus Christ,
Yes.
Basil. Fuck.
Yes.
All right, it's going to be
Uh-huh.
impossible. So you're going to make a will test with your 4 dice, Agnes, against an obstacle of 10.
We got some high will scores in this party.
Yeah, you're all very willful people.
Listen, you don't fucking like orchestrate the death of a child empress without having a high will. Like,
Yeah.
True.
don't. Oh, but if she gets it, I'll be so happy. It'll be the best. All 6s.
All right, Agnes, good.
I can't. I don't have. Okay.
All 6s.
Like I don't even. Okay.
I can't even.
Yeah, Basil's taking away your ability to even.
Am I entering the ob here, or am I just rolling?
Yeah, enter the ob as 10. That's the first thing the revolutionaries took was your ability to even.
That's why you have to enter the.
Yeah.
Not so much. So yeah, Basil, you're unconvinced by Agnes's pleas
Yeah.
of like what'll happen. Well, you can't. You're gonna die. Bad things are gonna happen.
I like hand on her hand, slide it off, not forcefully, like friends, like hand on for a second, like little squeeze, and probably gives hope for a second, for like the briefest moment that I'm agreeing,
Yeah.
and then slide it off,
Yeah.
go back to the manor. Whatever this is, this curse, this machine they have, all of it. The world needs people like you more than it needs people like me right now. And head towards the
So
building.
yeah, so when Rooster and Basil head off towards the building, I think this is our like closing shot, right? So Rooster and Basil turn to go to the building. Woodsman, are you going with them?
I am. I'm a little bit behind.
Okay.
But, yeah.
So this is kind of our slow-mo, like Tarantino tough guy shot of the three of you walking towards the building. We turn. Agnes, what do you do? There's a moment where, like, because I want to see, like, does Agnes like leave or do you follow them? Like, what happens? Describe the end of this episode for us.
So it's the dark alley, and the music starts swelling, and there's like a little trickle of rain that starts. And you just see like my forlorn face trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
And she's like, God damn it. And she follows them.
Okay. All right. So you head off after your friends. I love that too. You weren't persuaded. Like it's not like you know it's a bad idea because the persuasion failed, right? You're like, nope, this is terrible. This is a terrible, stupid idea, and I'm gonna do
But
it
I have
anyway.
to protect them with
Do it
my
anyway.
life because
Yep.
they're
Yep.
idiots.
All right. Well, let's go through and hand out some points. So, Agnes, let's start with you. Definitely, I'm seeing you getting some points for that swearing to defend your companions thing we were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So like the difference here too is like I think you'll get your fate now, and then next episode when you're like using your fists for them, that's when you'll get your persona for that one, and it'll give you an opportunity to change it, right? Because this will be an opportunity for you to like step up and get to the fisticuffs. And I think that's pretty much. I think fate for that one is pretty much it.
Yeah,
Looking
that's
at the traits. Yeah, no, I think that makes sense.
yeah.
Cool. Okay. Basil.
I feel like fate for my black robes one.
Yep.
I feel like fate for never let a friend walk into danger alone.
Yep. Definitely.
I
Fate for muttering too, because you choked
yes.
you choked when Agnes needed you to like
Yes.
step up.
totally right. I'd forgotten I'd done that actually, but yes.
Yeah,
totally.
I made a note.
Yes.
Cool. Okay. So you got
Awesome.
3 fate there.
Yep.
Rooster.
So I added in my missing belief:
Okay.
black robes, black deeds.
Ooh.
Following me, if it's death thereafter, I'm happy to oblige.
Okay.
I think fate for pursuing that because I'm going off to kill a bunch of black robes.
Yep.
On subsequent session. Last time I saw Princess, she was no friend to me. I'll watch her fight and get a more honest measure of her character. Maybe find a way she and I could work together. I feel like I resolved that one.
Persona. Yep.
Yeah.
And then my last one is about Basil buying me a chance to get clean.
Yeah. And I don't think you've really like
I haven't
pursued
really
that one
worked
yet.
towards that. Yeah.
Cool.
And then if you think I deserve any little bonus points, you let me know.
I mean, I think you pushed away your instincts, right? Like you connected emotionally to a person, and
By punching them, but yeah.
yeah, and let's not judge how we get close to people. Don't kink shame your character. And you actively avoided a wager or a challenge. I think take a point for brutish because like you're a brute. You tried to be nice and that didn't work, so you fought someone to try to make them your friend. You were lucky in this case that it could have worked, but with the wrong person, that would have just been like, cool, well, I didn't want to be your friend and now you've assaulted me. So
Yeah, now you have beat me up in the street. Great.
yeah, so that's
Cool.
good. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, and then Woodsman. So do you think for your first belief, do you think that you've learned all you can from the black robes, or is this just a start for you?
Sounds like it's probably the start of something.
Yeah, I would
bigger.
say fate for that one. Definitely. And you're definitely following closely in Rooster's wake. There's some crude ways, so fate for that one too.
Okay.
And I think that's probably it. Looking at your character sheet.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Get that fate and then spend the shit out of it. Every time there's a 6, use it like crazy. Cool. All right. Well, that's our episode for today. It was really good to check in at the beginning and like get all like on board with the character stuff, because now we've got like a really definitive like arc we can follow. But there's still some like extra stuff and like little hooks coming in. Like I can't wait until Agnes gets to see that printing press. I can't wait. It's gonna be like it's gonna be amazing. So cool. All right. Well, in the traditional fashion, I'm gonna go and I'll set up a Q&A. If y'all want to let us know who you are and where people can get at you on the internet.
I'm Austin Walker.
Oh, Austin will go first.
No, sorry. You can find me on Twitter at Austin_Walker and at giantbomb.com. I also do an actual play podcast at friendsatthetable.net.
Cool. Well, then I'll go second. I'm Andrew. You can find me on Twitter at Commuting Crow. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/actualfactual. Currently doing some creative stuff on Twitch, as well as some silly XCOM The Long War, getting all my viewers killed in the game, not in real life. Stuff like that. So you can check all that out. I usually post on Twitter when I'm going to stream, so that's a good place to see what I'm doing. Colin, help me out.
Okay. I am Colin Matthews, and unlike my other colleagues here, if you were to type my name into Google, you would not find anything that has to do with me.
Nothing?
I need to Google myself now and see what's up.
So it's not the I think the main problem is that there's this dude who's a composer who has made a name for himself or whatever.
That's not you? This guy? No?
No, unfortunately it's not. So
You're not a 70-year-old British man?
Yeah, exactly. It's like
not yet. You're not.
Set the bar so high. I have to change my name so it's more obscure.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people have one of those. Like John, I looked up John Harper on Google a while ago to find a picture of him, and there was some guy on the Titanic, like the hero of the Titanic, John Harper.
Wow.
So
sick.
Yeah.
My name just brings up like a doctor and a bunch of random old dudes.
Tonight on Everybody Googles themselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to find me specifically, not just someone who's vaguely of the same name, go to twitter.com/svnder. That is where I express myself on the internet.
Cool.
Yep.
See, if you Google my name, it's just like, do you mean Jeff Timmons, the guy from 98 Degrees? No.
I guess I do.
I guess I do
True.
now.
That's not true. I Googled you, and if you know what I mean, you totally come up.
That's good.
Yeah, it's all you.
All right, so everyone Google me. That's how you can find me. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do that at Silden. I am working on a D&D campaign with some Misclicks people, so hopefully that will be happening soonish. I can't tell you when yet because we're still working on it, but yeah.
Yo, have you decided?
Nah.
Have you decided what game you're playing? You're playing
5e.
Yeah, cool. I'm
Nice.
excited.
Yep.
Do you have like a million?
Really
Do you have
excited.
a million ideas for your character already? Do you know what you're gonna
I
play?
have. I know. I have so many. I can't decide.
Sweet.
It's like, I'm all over the place. I like kind of want to be a monk and do the whole like I forget what it's called, but like the path of like learning the elements.
Yeah, where you're like an avatar character.
Yeah, I literally just want to be the
Wicked.
avatar.
That's a good call. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Throw in some levels of thief. You could be a sweet ninja. It's all good.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that'll be fun. Follow me on Twitter to find out when that's happening.
Nice. Cool. Well, I am your humble game master, Adam Coble. You can follow me on Twitter at Skinny Ghost. And if you haven't already, throw a follow on this channel because there's lots more exciting roleplay stuff here. We're starting a Mage the Ascension campaign in the near weeks, so that should be fun and weird and terrifying. I haven't played that game since the 90s. It might be a terrible game. I can't remember. I remember it fondly, but I think it's bad. So
It's something.
I mean, look, if I never played badly written role-playing games, I'd never play role-playing games other than like 1 or 2. So it's cool.
It's true.
If we can suffer through first edition Shadowrun, I can make Mage happen. So you can tune in for that. It's going to be all kinds of weird magic philosophy action. We're going to start that, probably do character creation next week on Thursday, but it'll be in the Thursday slot. Otherwise, this is the place to be for all your Burning Wheel action. If you missed any of the episode, it's going to be on the VODs as soon as we're done, and you can pop over to YouTube on the weekend and check it and all of our other shows out at MS Roll20 on YouTube. So thank you for coming, everybody. It's been a delight, as always. I love this game. I love playing it with you nerds, and we will see everybody next time around. Have a good one.
Yeah.
Night.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Goodbye.
Mm.